Let the hunt begin.
Okay, this is going to be my in general guide for hunters.
Minions have spawned.
Basically just how you normally build a hunter. After you get the basics, you can just do whatever you want. For the most part with hunters, you're gonna want to. No, this is for Darius, and it goes for every character in the game. Build your damn boots. Whether you get damage or attack speed boots.
Always
It's
be
up to you.
prepared.
After you get your boots, you're gonna want to build one of the stacking items in the game. And stacking items are items you use where you have to kill minions, get stacks on an item, and it gives you increased bonuses like power or lifesteal. Wait for the minions to pop up. Okay. Yeah, see, building stacks with every minion you kill. You get increased power, and with this item you get increased mana and power per maximum mana. The other stacking item is this lifesteal item, Devourer's
This
Gauntlet.
gets to the point.
Gives you increased power and lifesteal for every minion you kill. Now you can build these items together, but I wouldn't recommend it, because that would take forever for you to get online. I'd say you're better off sticking with Devourer's Gauntlet because it's a hell of a lot cheaper and gives you just as much power. Then, after that, you're gonna want to get some no, not lifesteal. You're gonna want some attack speed. And get, say in general, this item's useless. You can go for this if you're in a rush to get some attack speed and lifesteal, but nah. I would say Executioners is a good option if you want some pen, but you don't actually want to build a pen item. It even gives you some power and attack speed. Now, on a character like Artemis, who's a good all-around hunter, the only downside is you have no movement ability. As you can see, I'm attacking pretty fast. Do a decent amount of damage. Now, what you're gonna want is maybe one or two crit items. And the order I'm building these is a good order to build them in yourself. Deathbringer, the good one, gives you extra damage on your crits. Wind Demon is another really good one because it increases your attack speed per crit you get. Now, as your last item, you can get now a flavor item, something you just want. It's situational. For a hunter, would either go for another crit item or an extra pen. Brawler's Beat Stick would be good because it reduces enemy healing, so if your enemies have a healer, you can just hit them with an ability while you have brawlers and reduce the healing they do. And get a big damage buff. Now, this isn't for hunters like the regular hunters, like Artemis and Cardinals and everyone else. This build is more for, this build I'm about to do is more for ability-based hunters like Chiron, Cupid, Scotty. What you're gonna want to do is just build fucking power. Just gonna want to hit as hard as possible. Hit harder, I would say go for Transcendence. And then what you're going to want to do is build a bunch of the pen items in Jotun's Wrath, since you're based on your abilities. Crusher would be good. Yeah. They have a super tanky person. You can get Titan's Bane. Titan's Bane does increased damage, and depending on how many projections the enemy you're hitting has. So, depending on how tanky the enemy team is, I'd say either get Titan's Bane, or if you're actually good at landing your basics, you can get Executioners or Kin Size. Kin Size will do a percentage of the enemy's health on every hit. Executioner reduces their protections, yeah, by 12%. At a max of 3 stacks per hit you land.
Always be prepared.
Go for Executioners just because with this build you don't really have all that much attack speed. You won't hit as hard as a crit hunter, but you will do consistent damage across the board. For your last item, I would say something like Odysseus Bow would be really good, especially if you need help clearing, because Odysseus Bow has an effect that branches off. Basically makes your hunters into Zeus. Show you once the minions pop up. Yeah. It bounces from every enemy. You can get Odysseus Bow after you get your stacking item. Just, you know, the health. Everything should be fine. At that point, all you need is some pen. Or, after you get 2 pen items, like Titan's Bane or Executioners, you won't really need one of your crit items. You can just
This gets to the point.
deal some damage. And you won't get that often, but it will help out with your DPS. And that's basically hunters in general.